kind of a holy shnikes moment yesterday when I found out that you can generate a prompt from an image. All right. So it's kind of like finally you're able to talk to the man behind the curtain when it comes to image editing. So I've been messing with these editing images with AI for a while and finally had kind of an aha moment. So here's the original image I used, just a game poster, low quality. And I was able to generate a prompt to know kind of how the AI was thinking about the elements in this image, right? And then it made it a little easier to kind of edit different pieces of this image with your own photo. So let's do it. All right. So the trick, right, is instead of saying like replace the text in the middle or replace the person at the top, you can kind of get specifics, right? So you can generate a prompt. Let's start with a new ChatGPT and give it the image and say generate prompt. You could say I can use to edit image. You know, you could tell it the purpose of your or not. Right. So all right. So stop. All right. So just generate prompt, but okay. All right. So here we see a lone fantasy hero is what it calls the central character. So I can instead of saying replace the person in the middle, I can bring in a image and say replace the lone fantasy hero with this photo and replace the word double quote caps lock Zelda double quote caps lock with Horowitz and Breath of the Wild with marketing professor. All right, let's see how it does. You could actually, I don't know whether, yeah, let's force it to create an image. Otherwise, it creates another prompt. Okay. All right, so that's going to take a little while, but it's going to do it. And to get Gemini to work, I had to use generate prompt I can use for similar image. So let's do a new chat, bring in the image and say generate prompt I can use for similar image. All right. And it helped. Okay, so sometimes you have to, yeah, see, it gave me an error. So I'm going to switch to Pro and do generate prompt I can use for similar image. All right, let's go back to ChatGPT. So anyways, it didn't do it. It kind of did it for demo purposes. It's fine. The background looks nice and cool, but it kind of messed up the characters. So I don't know what I did last time. I don't think I did anything really different last time. Replace young warrior with this image and replace the text, right? So that's all I did is kind of exact same thing, but I guess with a slot machine, you never know what you're going to get. So let's hope we get better results in Gemini, which we don't. So last time I did this, and it said generate prompt I can use for similar image, and I got all kinds of info about what the AI saw inside the image. And even the time before I did this, I got some information about the text, but right, I did replace the lone hero. So in this image, it called lone hero. It referred to, instead of, here's lone hero, right? So let's do new chat, bring in Zelda, bring in the prompt, bring in my image, bring in the prompt that worked last time, and say pro. So I guess the point you can still do this image editing without getting the prompt, but it helps because it lets you use the AI's terminology. Is my point. So hopefully it helps, um, and hopefully you get some cool images like I did when I used ChatGPT and Gemini. That was Gemini for me. See, I did it last time and it did a way better job at it. Trial and error. But let's see how Gemini does. So I get the shield, or I got rid of the legend of. It kept the sword. Jeez. So hopefully, asking for whether you're working with a pop culture poster or just some kind of generic flyer event poster graphic, ask the AI to generate a prompt and see what you get.